day. We thank you for your presence. If you will, please rise to your feet. We'll ask Mr. Wood to lead us in our invocation. Mr. Kuykendall lead us in our pledge. Mr. Wood.
Let's pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for all your many blessings, Lord. We take this opportunity today to acknowledge you and to ask your blessings upon us today as we proceed in this meeting, Lord. We thank you for the great country that we live in, for all the many freedoms that are ours to enjoy, Lord. We ask for your divine wisdom as we make the decisions that are needed for our county, and help us to always look to you for guidance, and may our decisions be good and proper. We just ask you now to be with us and always love us and care for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Mr. Kuykendall.
Please place the flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated, please. Again, we welcome you to this meeting this morning. We appreciate your presence. We will expedite our agenda as quickly as possible. And we always welcome you at any meeting that we have. Before we begin with our regular agenda this morning, we want to recognize the Fort Payne High School CERT team. CERT is an acronym for the State Emergency Response Team, and these young people that are here today under the direction of Ms. Pam Wilson are here to tell us about their program, and then Mr. Clifton will conclude the presentation. But Ms. Wilson, if you will, come and tell us about your students and about your program, who they are, and we're interested in hearing about it. Thank you for being here today. We appreciate it.
I'd like to thank you for allowing us to come. I'm very proud of these students, and I didn't realize I saw Mr. Westbrook walk in. He's been very instrumental in helping my program also at the high school. I believe this, they were in competition, and they had to learn all these things for competition, but I believe that this competition they were in is very important to the community, because it is a community team that does teach them to help out in disaster situations in their own community. These two, Curtis Tucker and Hannah Tucker, are brother and sisters. First time I've had a brother and sister team. They competed originally with 30 teams back in November, had to take some tests, preliminary tests, and they were chosen in the top 10 of that to go to state. They went to state, and they beat out all the teams and got number 1 in the state of Alabama in the CERT competition, which allowed them to go to the international competition this summer. We just got back from Orlando, and out of over 100 teams, they were chosen to go to the second round and competed. Unfortunately, we didn't place in that, but I'm still very proud of them for their accomplishments.
Well, thank you so much. Please have to stand up. We appreciate it so very much. Thank you. Mr. Clifton, come and explain to us in a little more depth about this program.
Good morning. It's a really good program. We've been participating in it quite some time now, both at the county and the city level. But Fort Payne City Schools really got behind the program and have done well. This is not their first time to be in the winner's circle. They have been there several times. I believe this is the furthest we've gone. But your efforts, the commission allows us, we support them in a few ways, but the CERT program is Community Emergency Response Team. It's something we offer through the EMA for everybody. It's a 20-hour class that we offer that anybody can take, and we strongly encourage it. And what it's intended to do is to make citizens more aware of how to take care of themselves and their neighbors in the event of disaster. And what we've found is if just like anything else, if we can get to young folks and get them to buy into the system, that it really goes a long way toward that education down the road and makes them much more resilient community members. And so these folks have worked very hard, and it's a good program, and we want you to know how much we appreciate the commission working with us. The city of Fort Payne works with us, and of course, Ms. Wilson does an excellent job of leading this group, and we really want to thank her for her efforts in this. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, we appreciate it. And again, if you all have time to remain, we'll get a picture after this is over. We won't take very long without a meeting, or we can do it now if you can't stay, but if you can stay, we would appreciate it. We'll continue on with our regular agenda, road department maintenance update, Mr. Broad. I'm sorry, Tom, let me approve these minutes first. Gentlemen, you received your minutes by email. Is there any change that needs to be made? If not, do I hear a motion to approve? Your second.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Any in favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you, motion carries. Now, Darren.
Thank you. I'll just be real brief with an update. I have a couple other things I'd like to talk with you about. We're still continuing on really about the same things we normally do. I talked to our crew leaders at the crew leader meeting Monday morning, and 3 of the 4 crews have completed their first round with bush hogs. The other crew likes still probably a week and a half or so of being around. They do have quite a bit larger work area than some of the others do. We're continuing on with that, and we're still trying to get around with our first round on our herbicide application. Maybe the weather is going to cooperate a little bit better. They've had a few good days, and they've really made some good progress with that. Also, it started reclaiming some roads up in the north end of the county, up north of Ider. We have 2 of those roads reclaimed, and they should be finishing up hauling out the second road. Hopefully by lunch, we're going to start, maybe after lunch, reclaiming another road up there. So we're going to continue working on that. It's about all I have for you that's new on the update. If you got any questions, I'll try to answer those for you.
Any questions, Mr. Broad? If not, go ahead, Mr. Broad.
Okay, I do have one personnel thing I'd like to take care of. The temporary worker in District 3 had found a full-time job, and they're needing to hire somebody, and I have a guy I'd like to recommend for that position. His name is Tyler Guffey.
Okay. You hear Mr. Broad's recommendation. Any questions concerning the recommendation? If not, do you hear a motion beyond his request?
So move.
Your second. Second. Motion second, any discussion? Means favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you, motion carries.
I have one other thing. Of course, I'm constantly trying to find ways to do things a little better than we do and more efficient, productive. Got to thinking back years ago when the state DOT actually still was in control of the road department. They used some what they call tailgate spreaders. And they actually built some that they used on some of their dump trucks, and they would do some strip patching, this chip seal strip patches with these. What they have was just a gravity feed. They worked fairly well, but got to thinking about the possibility maybe of buying a couple of tailgate spreaders that you would just hook onto the back of a dump body, and then maybe buy an asphalt distributor where we could maybe take what limited money we have for paving and resurfacing and maybe concentrate it in some of the worst areas that we've got. We have a lot of roads that it may have a streak 100 feet long, 500 feet, 800 feet. They may have a couple of spots like that that we just cannot keep patched. The problem is the base probably is the biggest problem causing that. This would allow us to go in and maybe reclaim that and put some base material on it, and then do a double or triple surface treatment on top of it. You would take these tailgate spreaders, that's what you actually would spread the gravel with on this. Of course, you would spray the liquid tar with the asphalt distributor. I've located some of these. The tailgate spreaders are really inexpensive, I guess, and one way of looking at it, they're about $5,500 each. They have an electric motor on them and just wires into the electrical system on the truck. The motor powers a feed roller, and what it does, it keeps a constant flow of rock going out, where some kind of a gravity feed might not flow hardly that smooth and as consistent as this would. But the dump trucks we have, the small trucks, these will mount to them. They only weigh about 400 pounds. Ben and I went down to Coosa County last week and looked at one. They have one that they keep on the truck year round. They spread sand with it, put it on snow and ice and things like that, just use it for different things. A lot of the counties in the state use these for this type of procedure. And, so they're this real simple built. There's not a lot of parts that wear out. So I think it'd be a good way to go. And I've also located a used asphalt distributor that the people report it to be in very good working condition. The truck don't show how many miles, about 64,000 miles on the truck. So that tells me it's not done a whole lot probably in its lifetime. But actually a county in Kentucky owns this. We just need to determine if we can buy it somehow direct from them or do some kind of a bid on it. But that's a little less than a third of the price, about $45,000, about a little less than a third of the price of a new distributor and a truck. You're looking at about $160,000 to buy a new one. Just this distributor by itself, a new one is just under $100,000. So, I would want to go look at it and make sure they've offered to let me come and inspect it and do whatever I need to do with it to feel confident that it's still in good working condition. But and I would want to go do that before we proceeded with it. But if that would be something you'd be interested in, we're not making much progress because we're paying over $20,000 just to get a single surface treatment done on the road. And you might take that $20,000 and fix 4 or 5 spots on 4 or 5 different roads that are in terrible condition. And I think we could probably concentrate it more on where it's needed the worst. We have a strip patch bid with our contractor, but we can't afford to utilize that bid. You can take probably a 5-man crew to do these things, where if you try to put together a full-blown paving crew, you'd be looking at least 14 or 15 men to do that. So,
Thank you, Mr. Broyles. That makes sense to me. John, you hear his recommendation. How do you want to proceed?
I'll make a motion that we allow Tom to inspect or evaluate this proposal a little bit further, and if in his best judgment he finds it appropriate to go ahead and make that purchase.
Here, Commissioner Westbrook, Mr. Cotton.
I second the motion that it makes good sense, best use for money.
Mr. Cotton, proper second, any discussion? Commissioner's favorite, let me know, saying aye.
Aye.
You want to post that rejection. Tom, you will let us know what you find out, and we'll proceed with that.
thank you. That's all I have for you.
Thank you, sir. Revenue Commission, final settlement of personnel, Mr. Wilson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Couple of quick things this morning. First thing, we had finishing up our final settlement. We're still going through the paperwork on everything as far as getting ready to send it down to the state and settle up with them and everything. But part of doing that is each year come over and present to the commission our list of insolvencies and errors and taxes and litigation. So basically just presented what we had throughout the course of the year through collecting taxes. These are the things that we come across that insolvents or property that has left the county was unable to collect on. Taxes and litigation is obviously things that's being held up in either bankruptcies or court litigation. And then the errors is the biggest part that we find throughout the year between assessments being wrong, appraisal values that are, legitimately errors on our part, things like that we come across. So just a list of those. I think I emailed those to you yesterday if Matt ordered them out, and so you should each have a copy. Then I've got the signed copy here with me that Mr. Harper will need to sign at some point in time.
Gentlemen, you have the printouts that we received. Yes, is there any question about it? This will not need a motion second, we'll just have it on record, but we will take care of it. Go ahead with your personnel.
Second thing we had, at the previous commission meeting, I was unable to attend, but had it on the agenda to post the Rainsville collection clerk position. This will be assisting in tags and also in the property collections when we start those again on October 1st. Had looked at trying to hold that position open, and I had for a while, but upon reviewing it, we are meeting enough customers out there in Rainsville that we definitely need a fifth person out there. And so this is replacing one that was already there. We had one resign, and so this is filling that position. Went through interviews this week, or previous week, and selected a lady named Tanya Andres to fill that position. And like I said, just kind of want to recommend her to be hired.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkes. Any questions concerning the recommendation? If not, do I hear a motion, we honor its request.
So moved.
Your second.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Any in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Sheriff's Office personnel, and Mr.
Good
Edwards.
morning.
Good morning.
We had, I had emailed back and forth with Matt and spoke to y'all. We've got an employee that is not able to work as much as they want to or as much as we need them. So we had asked that you would approve a part-time deputy position and hire David Stanley in that position.
Gentlemen, you hear Mr. Edmonds' recommendation. Any questions concerning his recommendation? If not, do I hear a motion, we honor his request.
So moved.
Here a second.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? As many as favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you. Motion carried.
Also, we would like to hire Perry Brooks Smith as a part-time dispatcher. She would be to replace Austin Peppers, who was promoted to full-time. This would be a part-time position as well.
You hear Mr. Edmonds' recommendation, gentlemen. Any questions concerning that? If not, do I hear a motion, we honor his request.
So moved.
Here second.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Many in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you, motion carried.
And also, in all these part-time positions, we're sure that they will help us get rid of some of our overtime costs. We'd like to ask that you approve 2 part-time night shift corrections officer positions as well.
Is this to post the positions?
Yeah, we're going to post those, yes. We don't have anybody to hire in them right now.
This is just a posted position.
Yes, yes.
Is this all you have? Mr.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. You hear Mr. Edmonds' request to post these positions. Any questions concerning that? If not, do I hear a motion to honor his request?
So moved.
Here a second. Motion second, any discussion? Many in favor, let me know by saying aye. Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you, motion carried.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Edmonds. Mr. Sharp, notice of claim.
We have a claim from Ashley Hubbard from Crossville, who is claiming a wrongful arrest, and has said that they may file a lawsuit. So just for the record, putting that in the commission minutes, that this could be an issue that we have some liability in. So we'll send this to our insurance company if that's okay with the commission.
Thank you, Mr. Sharp. Do I hear a motion we forward this to insurance carrier?
So moved.
Motion second, any discussion? Many in favor, let me know by saying aye. Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you. Revenue enforcement, garbage exemption, Mr. Sharp.
Should have a listing of those. The first one is just the county list. This is from EC Waste. They have a total of 491. These are exemptions. The contract says they'll pay up to 500, so that covers those. And then the PAL, we do a 50-50 on those county residents outside their city limits. They've got, looks like they've got 81, so that's a little bit of an increase over what we've had previously. So they'll do half, those will do that.
This is what we do every time. It's not any change in the way we handle this, just something we have to do. Any questions concerning these exemptions? If not, I hear a motion that we adopt it. Here a second.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion, if any in favor, let me know by saying aye. Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you. Public transportation personnel, Mr. Sharp.
Ms. Brewer sent over a request to hire Greg Wells and Barney Levon as substitute drivers for the rural public transportation program.
These are substitute drivers, and we have a hard time finding these people, and I'm personally glad that she's found these part-time drivers, because we have a difficult time with this sometimes, and it's really beneficial to the council on the aging. So, any question concerning that recommendation by Ms. Brewer? If not, do I hear a motion that we honor her request? Hear a second?
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? As many as favor, let it be known by saying aye. Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you. CED mental health resolution. I think you have the rules of incorporation concerning CED. This is from Knowles and Sullivan, attorneys in Gadsden, and there's an amendment to this incorporation, and what this does, it just clarifies some language. If you'll notice on the front, specifically, even though the cities of Center, Fort Payne, and Attala have historically appointed 3 board members to the CED board, the governing documents did not reflect that. So this amendment simply documents and formalizes the selection and appointment of board members as it's always been done. It just wasn't incorporated into this document. Any question concerning that? If not, then do we hear a motion that you give me the authority to sign such?
So moved.
Your second? Motion second, in discussion. Many in favor, let me know by saying aye. Anyone opposed, state your objection. That concludes our agenda for today. Our next meeting will be July the 11th here in the chambers. We hope all of you have a safe and happy holiday